quiet man, noisy world. For much of his career, Jamie Dornan has been a model of restraint, calm, reserved, and determined to stay out of the limelight. The Northern Irish actor often describes himself as a family man first, an actor second. But in 2025, that image began to crack. Behind the serene smiles and polished interviews, Jamie was facing an unexpected storm. From the outside, his life seemed perfect. A beautiful wife, 3 daughters, critical acclaim in Belfast, and global fame from 50 Shades of Grey. But fame comes at a price. And this year, for the first time, Jamie risked it all, his reputation, his peace, even his marriage, to finally take control of his own story. So, what really happened? Why did Jamie Dornan make these Hollywood-shattering decisions? Here's the truth, in just 5 minutes. The role that changed and imprisoned him. When 50 Shades of Grey came out in 2015, Jamie went from the handsome boy of the fall to a global sex symbol. The film grossed more than $1 billion, but it also created a monster, one that never dies. Whatever he did next, the world still saw only Christian Grey. Jamie tried to break free from the stereotype. He played a troubled detective in The Fall, a loving father in Belfast, and an eccentric spy in The Tourist. Critics praised his performance, but fans still asked about Dakota Johnson, about the handcuffs, about the Red Room. It feels like living in someone else's shadow, Jamie admitted in a rare interview. Wherever I go, Christian is always by my side. By 2024, the pressure had become unbearable. His team advised him to keep quiet, to let the rumors die down. But silence only made things worse. The rumors never died down. Years after 50 Shades of Grey, the tabloids still refused to stop. Every glance, every red carpet encounter between Jamie and Dakota Johnson became a hot topic. When Dakota appeared without her longtime lover Chris Martin, the whole world was talking. Is Dakota single again? Is Jamie back in her life? Secret meetings in Malibu. Then the photo appeared. A blurry paparazzi photo of Jamie entering a Los Angeles studio, the same studio where Dakota was filming a new movie, went viral overnight. Fans were convinced. The internet exploded. TikTok was flooded with edited clips titled, "They Were Meant to Be Together." For Jamie's wife, Amelia Warner, it was a nightmare she had long hoped would end. It wasn't jealousy, a close friend said. It was pride. Amelia had spent years watching people treat her marriage like a lie. And that's when Jamie decided to do the unexpected. He spoke up. The interview that changed everything. It was supposed to be a routine appearance. Jamie was promoting season 3 of The Tourist on BBC Radio when the interviewer casually asked about Dakota. For the first time in 10 years, Jamie didn't dodge the question. He leaned forward, looked directly into the camera, and said, "It's time for people to hear the truth. Dakota is an amazing woman and a dear friend, but that's all she's ever been to me. I love my wife, I love my family, and I am not going to let fiction destroy the truth." The words exploded like a bomb on the internet. Within minutes, headlines were popping. Jamie Dornan breaks silence. Jamie defends his marriage. Christian Grey is no more. But while fans applauded his honesty, insiders say the moment came at a cost. The breakdown begins. Publicly, the announcement looked like a victory. Jamie had found his truth. Inwardly, it created chaos. His management team was furious. They begged him to avoid personal comments, fearing it would reignite tabloid attention. But it turned out to be the opposite. Within hours, thousands of fans were dissecting his every word in the interview. Some praised his loyalty to Amelia. Others accused him of cheating on Dakota and denying a real relationship. Jamie just shattered a million illusions, wrote one entertainment blogger. The world wants Christian and Anna together forever. Dakota, always composed, responded succinctly. Jamie said what needed to be said. I'm proud of him. But behind the scenes, she was reportedly surprised by his candor. According to insiders, their friendship cooled considerably afterward. Why Jamie speaks out, the mysterious reason. So why is Jamie doing it now? Why, after a decade of silence, is he suddenly risking his image and relationships to speak out? The answer lies in what one of his closest friends describes as a tipping point. Jamie has been living under two identities, the friend says. Jamie is the actor, and Jamie is the rumor. And the rumor is winning. He's tired of being the subject of fanfiction, tired of social media accounts spreading lies about his relationship, tired of defending people's fantasies at the cost of his own sanity. He's risked it all, his privacy, his brand, even the loyalty of his fans, to reclaim himself. The price to his family. Jamie's decision is also rooted in protection. His daughters are grown now. They've started reading books online. When your kids can Google your name, it changes the game, Jamie once said. You have to control what they find. For Amelia, who has always shied away from the spotlight, the constant speculation was heartbreaking. But this time, when Jamie went public, she reportedly told him, "Just do it. Get it over with." Amelia wanted him to be free, a family friend shared. She didn't want their children growing up in the shadow of someone else's romantic fantasy. So Jamie risked it all, not out of anger, but out of love. Love for his wife, daughter and peace of mind. Hollywood's reaction. Those in the industry were divided. Some praised Jamie for his honesty, calling it a lesson in integrity. Others worried that his statement could alienate fans who have built a career around the 50 Shades legend. Director Sam Taylor Johnson tweeted, "What Jamie did took courage. But the truth always has a price." Meanwhile, entertainment outlets have been digging into the story for weeks. Podcasts have analyzed his every word. YouTube channels have debated whether his tone was defensive or vulnerable. And somewhere in the middle of all the noise, Jamie has remained silent. The hidden war, fame versus freedom. For Jamie Dornan, the real battle was never about romance rumors or movie roles. It was about freedom, the right to live without being trapped in someone else's fantasy. Actors lose control of themselves when fiction becomes stronger than reality, a Hollywood psychologist explained. Jamie's case is a classic example. Fans project their desires onto him until he becomes a prisoner of their imagination. The moment he speaks out, he shatters that illusion, but in doing so, he also risks losing the very audience that made him famous. Although those close to him say it's worth it, Jamie doesn't want to be admired for the wrong reasons anymore, says a friend. He'd rather be misunderstood than fake. Dakota's turning point. Interestingly, Jamie's confession also became a turning point for Dakota Johnson. For years, she had been quietly frustrated by the constant questions about her career that kept coming back to 50 Shades. But after Jamie's confession, she began to talk about it more freely. "It was a great experience," she shared in an interview with Variety. "But it's over. I am not that girl anymore, and neither is Jamie." Sources say she and Jamie exchanged text messages afterward, brief, polite, and respectful. There was no anger, a mutual friend explained. Just closure. Career on the brink. After the interview, Jamie faced another crossroads. How would this affect his career? Producers worried that fans might turn against him, especially with 50 Shades still a billion-dollar franchise. Instead, something unexpected happened. His honesty earned him more respect. Critics praised his transparency. Industry leaders called him a man finally free of the Hollywood illusion. Offers for serious roles began pouring in, period dramas, horror films, and independent films. "People saw the real Jamie," said one casting agent. "Not sci-fi, real life." The real risk. At the core of Jamie Dornan's decision was not to control the press, but to control himself. He took a risk. The wrath of fans who lived for the Jamie Dakota myth. The discomfort of friends who prefer to keep quiet. The commercial appeal of his romantic image. The safety of hiding behind PR-approved answers. And yet, he chose the truth. Because as a confidant said, "You can't live in a lie someone else has made up. It will eventually kill you." What he achieved. In the following weeks, something unexpected happened: peace. Jamie began spending more time in Ireland with his family, away from the cameras. He quietly deleted thousands of photos tagged with Dakota. He began mentoring young actors at the Belfast Film Academy, teaching them how to overcome the psychological trauma of fame. "The only thing worth trading it all for," he told one student, "is your own peace." For the first time in years, he looked genuinely happy, no longer chasing fame, no longer running from rumors. The world went on. As expected, social media turned to another scandal. But for those who had actually followed Jamie's journey, this was more than just a rumor, it was a moment of liberation. Die-hard Christian Anna Forever fans began posting words of encouragement. Jamie deserves peace. It takes strength to escape your own myth. He's not gray, he's Dornan. Even Dakota's fanbase began to soften, recognizing the humanity behind the headlines. The last 5 minutes. So, in just 5 minutes, here's what really happened, and why Jamie Dornan took such a risk. He was tired of being trapped in the same character he'd played 10 years earlier. He wanted to protect his family from false rumors. He needed to end the illusion that blurred the line between love and fantasy. He wanted to be remembered for his own truth, not someone else's dream. And most of all, he wanted peace. In a world where celebrities are often imprisoned by their true selves, Jamie Dornan chose freedom. It cost him fans, strained relationships, and the comfort of the public, but it gave him back his identity. Final thoughts: the man behind the legend. A few weeks later, Jamie was spotted in Northern Ireland, walking hand in hand with his wife, laughing and chatting. No paparazzi scandal, no headlines, just a man finally getting his life back. When asked by a journalist if he had any regrets, he smiled slightly and said, "You can't regret telling the truth. You can only regret waiting so long to do it." And that, more than any blockbuster, is perhaps his greatest role to date, not Christian Grey, not the tourist, but himself. Because in the end, it only took one sentence, one risk, and one moment of courage to remind the world that Jamie Dornan is not a dream. He is a man who dares to be real.